Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, happy 2020. Sorry I haven't posted in a little while, I've just been very busy with work and stuff. I just got a promotion to assistant manager, so I might not be posting as often as usual simply because I'm trying my hardest to adjust to that and adjust to certain other things in my life and just get myself on track and focus on mental health and things like this. But I do really want to make more videos this year because it really does help me out mental health wise, and I'm not really sure why, and I can't really talk properly today. The video that I actually wanted to make today is based on this YouTuber slash online personality slash singer called Leah Marie Johnson. I did used to watch her quite a lot on Kids React, which is a YouTube channel where, well, it's quite self-explanatory in the name. A bunch of kids react to certain things on the internet, like viral videos and things. I remember she was on one where she was reacting to Amanda Todd and she started crying her eyes out, and I remember feeling really sorry for her and thinking that girl's been through some stuff. But she seemed really sweet and nice, and she was one of my favourite kids on there. She just seemed so down to earth and bubbly and just innocent, you know, when you can just tell someone's so innocent. And then she grew up and she was still on Teen React, and then she was on YouTubers React, and she just seemed like a really nice girl. I never watched her YouTube channel just because I wasn't really that invested in her, but I knew of her and who she was, of course. Then she released music, and she has a song called DNA, which is all about the way her dad was an alcoholic and how she doesn't want to end up being like him, but she feels like she can't control it because it's in her blood, it's in her DNA to become that way. But she's got like an addictive personality, and I can relate to that a lot. I have a lot of fears myself about becoming like certain people in my family, and it is a really scary feeling. It's something I've cried to my boyfriend about on multiple occasions, you know. It's something I'm really aware of, and it's, you know, the reason I don't want kids and things like that is because I have this huge fear that I'll turn out a certain way, and I never want to turn into that, and I feel like it's uncontrollable. And I was recently diagnosed with something which I am going to make a video about, but I'm just not ready yet, which confirms a lot of things and explains a lot in my life, but it also confirms a lot of my deepest fears, so it's kind of makes it even worse, and that's why I can relate to this video. And I'm sorry I'm being vague, I just want to make a whole other video on that and do my research properly because I still don't quite understand it myself, and I'm still coming to terms with how to deal with it. And it's something I struggle with every single day. I can relate to that song so much. When I listened to it for the first time yesterday, I was emotional, and I really do feel sorry for her because based off of her recent live streams, she seems to be going down a certain route in life, and it seems like she almost predicted her future. I just want to say that this video is all allegedly, and I don't know anything for fact. I have done a bit of research on this, but if I am wrong about anything or I'm spreading any misinformation, do let me know in the comments nicely. But I have tried to look into this as much as I humanly can so that I don't mess up or make any mistakes. I don't want to make any assumptions on the situation, but I do have this weird gut feeling when I've been watching her lives, and I feel like something is terribly wrong, and I have an idea of what's going on, but no one can know for sure because no one knows her life. No one knows exactly what's going on. All we can do is speculate, and I don't like the idea of speculating about someone's mental health or if they've got an addiction or whatever, but in this situation I feel like awareness needs to be spread because I feel like every now and then people care about this. And they make a video, and for like a week or so everybody's really concerned and everybody's like, we need to help her, we need to reach out to her. It's like the Marina Joyce situation where everybody's so concerned and worried, and then everybody kind of forgets about it for whatever reason until the next time they have a breakdown. And I don't know, this has been going on with her for a really long time. It hasn't just been like a one-off thing every now and then. It's been going on since like May last year, I think, was her first weird live stream.
How long have you been on live for?
I don't know, maybe like 7 hours.
Are you okay? Is everything going alright?
I'm doing great. I like need to keep going because I love everything that everyone says about me.
What did you say yet?
7 hours. Okay, so apparently someone says that I've been on here for 7 hours, but I don't believe that. That's impossible. That means I would be on here since like 1 in the afternoon, and I know where I was in 1 in the afternoon. I was at my boyfriend's house with a tiny baby, taking care of that tiny baby. So you don't know where I was. Stupid. phone. Stupid humans. You don't even know how good love is until you really get to taste it. Let me tell you a story. Real quick before I go. There once was a story about a young girl. There once was a story of a young girl, and she was in love. That's all. Cheers. There was a young girl, and she liked to drink beer, and she did that. She drank beer her entire life, and that's all that ever happened with her. Congratulations to that girl. She really did well. Thank you to that girl who really did well in her life. Drank all the beer. Thank you. Good night. Good night. End of story. I commit suicide all of a sudden. JK. That's not funny. Suicide is not funny. Committing suicide on your wrists is stupid. And you know what? Any other liquid that is not Perrier that is going into my skin after I've already slit my wrists is not allowed. I will be bathing in a bathtub full of Perrier if I slit my wrist. Thank you very much. Good night.
I was looking at her Instagram, and at first she looked really bubbly and happy and full of life, and it looked like a normal internet personality's like Instagram, very standard, very basic girl, you know, in a very non-offensive way. It looked just like a normal girl's happy girls, or at least what she was kind of projecting out to the world was that she was happy. And then as you go through her Instagram, it starts to get a bit stranger, and it's kind of like she loses her soul in a way, not to sound dramatic, but like you can see it leaving her eyes. She looks high in some of the like photos, she's even smoking in some of the photos. The tone just shifts and gets darker. I'll leave a link to her Instagram down below and you'll see exactly what I mean. She was always such a friendly, personable, happy girl, and sweet and innocent, and now when you watch her it's almost as if you're watching an entirely different person. It's like she's had a huge breakdown and just shifted personality. The live stream that everybody is talking about is basically, she has before said in the live stream that she has schizophrenia, and no one knows if this is true or not. No one knows if this is just an excuse she's making up, or if that's just something she said because she only brought it up once and then she never said it again. She said something like, I just have schizophrenia, it's not a big deal, it really doesn't have to be, which is fair enough. And you know, if she has schizophrenia, I don't know anything about schizophrenia, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I do, but if that is the case, then people need to back off and just let her deal with it in her own way, and unfortunately that's something that she can't control, and she's just going to have to learn to live with that in whatever way she can. I don't know anything about the illness or anything about a cure or how to control it or manage it or anything like that, so if she is having these episodes and it is just schizophrenia, then it's not really her fault, and we don't really have to save her or anything like that. But I do think you can be there for her and not be so disgusting on her live streams. Like, I've seen some bad comments on there and it's like, you can see she's struggling, like no matter what it is, if it's schizophrenia, drug addiction, if she's just drunk, if she's high, if she's being held captive, whatever it is, it is just kind of vulgar that there are people out there that just comment on it ridiculous things and are just trolling, because like, she clearly needs help, and when I'm watching it, it really freaks me out. Like, I get this horrible feeling that something bad's going to happen to her, and I really hope that's not the case. There was a live stream she did recently, and it seems to me, I've watched it a few times now just because I wanted to really go over it. She's basically either in a recording studio or a hotel or something like this, that's what it looks like to me, and she's writing music, and she starts off and she's singing, and she has a great voice, by the way, I was blown away, and she's singing really sad, and she's like singing music, seems like she's working on a song or something of hers, and you can hear this old guy's voice in the background, who people assume is her producer, Stephen Weatherby, and It does sound like him. I've seen videos comparing his voice to interviews and the live stream, and it does sound like him a lot. There's even a part where you can see his entire face, and it definitely seems to be him. He's like 67 or something, and she's 23. So this is what makes the whole situation really strange. Of course, there is such a thing as age gap relationships and being consensual, and she is 23. She is a full-grown woman. She is an adult. She can make her own decisions, but considering she's known this guy since she was like 15 years old, and he's been like managing her or whatever it is he does, he's been, you know, he's seen her grow up into a young woman. He's seen her go from very young teenager to adult. So seeing what's going on in the live stream is concerning, because it just seems like he's kind of taking advantage. So I just looked in the viewfinder and realised it looks like I have no lips. Completely off topic, but wow. I think I messed up my foundation today. Basically in the live stream you can hear him in the background, and it seems like she's trying to record him on purpose, almost like a cry for help, like she wants people to know what's going on because she feels unsafe.
Like a star, heaven is so far. So wait, how far is heaven?
How far is heaven?
Yeah.
It's about, here, I'll play it. You'll know from this. Are you on Instagram?
No. Baby, listen, please.
That's what it feels like to me. I've been in situations where I felt unsafe and uncomfortable around men, and if I had a huge following like that, that's something I would do. I'd live stream secretly so that someone would know what's happening and could try and help me. But it seemed like no one was really catching on when the live was actually happening. A few people seemed concerned in the comments, and eventually someone did send the police there to check on her. But it's really harrowing to watch. It's horrible. I had this horrible feeling in my gut when I was watching it. I was like, oh god, like, I really feel bad for this girl. Like, I know how she feels. And if she's being taken advantage of, it's sickening, especially since in the live stream she's drinking wine, she's clearly heavily intoxicated. She clearly has gone to this place under the impression that she is just going there for business to work on her music with her producer. He's just playing 1,000 Years, the song, and he's like, you know this song, and he says it in a really creepy way, and she's like, no, I want to work on my song. So by that you get the impression that she went there to work on her music as an artist rather than whatever his intentions are. He pulls her in at one point and starts either making out with her or giving her a hug. It's very intimate, but you can only see it on the side of the camera, so I couldn't really make it out. I've got terrible eyesight, but it looked like he was making out with her / hugging her, rubbing her arm and stuff. Then as she pulls away, she looks very uncomfortable. She looks, I don't know, like kind of dead inside. She looks up, goes to the camera, she starts going, oh my god, and giggling, and I think that's because she realised he's been caught on camera, and she's like, thank god. Like, it seems like a cry to help to me. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but that's what I felt like I was watching. She's like, I need more wine, and she starts drinking wine. And I know what it's like to rely on alcohol when you don't want to deal with something, when you don't want to deal with your own emotions, you just want to push it away, you just drink away the pain. I did that for years. I just drank and drank and drank. Anytime that I felt sad, I just wouldn't let myself be sober. I was always drunk.
I think I need more wine. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Waiting at the bottle? Oh, you're waiting there.
No one could save me though.
And I had a huge drinking issue that I didn't really admit to until like this year, or last year more like, and I really felt sorry for her and really bad for her. You can tell she just starts downing red wine, and it's almost like she's trying to drink away the pain of what's just happened. Like, she's just trying to be like, this is okay, it's fine, if I drink it won't hurt so much. That's what it seems like to me, because I've been in this situation where I've used alcohol to escape my emotions. I've never been taken advantage of in that way whilst under the influence, really, other than in clubs a few times or anything like that. But I have used alcohol to escape my own feelings and my own depression, and it doesn't work. It really doesn't. You can't keep living your life like that, so I felt really bad for her. And then basically he figures out she's on Instagram Live and he keeps asking, are you on Instagram? You can't be on Instagram. Are you on Instagram? And he says, you can't be on Instagram because that would be bad. And she's saying, no, I'm not on Instagram. And at one point she starts admitting it and she's like, totally, I'm on Instagram, totally. But I don't know, it just seems like she was really trying to just capture him, because she wasn't talking to the audience. He clearly didn't know she was live, so it seems to me like she was very sneakily just trying to catch whatever the situation was that was going on there. Maybe she felt uneasy and she knew something was about to happen. She realised the situation she'd been caught up in. She went there to work on her music and then she was like, oh fuck, he actually wants this. The whole situation is just really sad. He then takes the phone off of her and you can see his face a little bit, and it does look like her producer or manager, whatever he is, and he says, I'm hijacking your phone. And then she goes back on live and he's saying, right, now back to us. And she's like, no. And she says no like multiple times and she sounds kind of scared, and it's just a really scary situation.
So to heck with that. Now we're going back to us. I'm hijacking your phone for...
And honestly, I just wanted to bring light to it because I really don't want people to forget about it this time, because when the whole Marina Joyce thing happened, people cared and then they didn't care and then they cared and then they didn't care, and it's just like, you either care or you don't. In a way, I kind of don't think people should be speculating, but also I can understand why they are, because it is concerning when you see this kind of thing and all you want to do is kind of help her. And I think the best thing for people to do is to just be supportive of her. If you see anything strange, I don't know that calling the police for a welfare check is the best thing unless it's like really seems bad and off. I understand why people did it, and afterwards she gets upset about it, and she's probably upset about it because, you know, he's probably going to go off on one. Maybe he'll hurt her. You know, you never know. It could have made the situation worse for her. To me, it seemed like she was clearly asking for help, and I do feel really sorry for her. It's awful to see someone that seems so full of life and happy and sweet and innocent, and she was clearly aware of whatever mental health issue that might develop in her. Maybe she knew schizophrenia ran in the family and she knew that around her mid-20s it could start to develop inside of her, and maybe that's where DNA comes from. Or she just knew that alcoholism ran in her family and she started getting in with the wrong crowd. She thought, oh, it's okay, I can have a few drinks, and then it just kind of snowballed. That's how it started for me. I just went out for fun, and then I enjoyed the feeling of being intoxicated so much that I became dependent on it, and I needed that to be happy and to be like the best version of myself and to be confident and loud and talkative and fun. I felt like I had to drink and I had to be heavily intoxicated to enjoy myself. I just feel really sorry for her, and I don't really know what the point of this video is other than to point it out and to say that I'm sending all my love and support to her. I hope that she can get help. I think people can't be pushed to get help. You have to kind of come to that conclusion yourself. For me, I just drank so much for years and years, and people were enabling me, telling me that I didn't have an issue, blah blah blah. But my family were cottoning on to the fact that I did have a problem, and it just kind of took me a while to come to that place where I could finally accept it and admit it. And now I don't drink at all, and if I do, it's literally like 1 or 2 drinks and it's nothing. You know, I used to walk down Tesco's and down the alcohol aisle and I would have to buy something, like I just had to. It was truly an addiction, and I thought I was in control of it. I thought I was just having fun, being young. And you kind of just have to let people figure it out for themselves. It can go one of 2 ways. She'll either figure it out and clean up her act and become sober and realise what she's doing and start to process her emotions, or she can continue to use it as a way to escape her pain or whatever situation she's in, and she will continue to decline in health. And I don't think anyone can help her except herself, unless she is being manipulated and gaslit by this producer and he's taking advantage of her because of the age difference and because of her illness and because of the drugs and alcohol. or maybe he's supplying her, then yes, someone should step in and help her. He seems to have deleted all his social media and everything, so he does seem really shady. I do think he's got a lot to do with this. I think he kind of pushed her in that direction. I think she's been worked too much as a child star, and ultimately has just started to spiral downwards into the way her dad used to be. It's a really sad story because I can relate to it a lot. My biggest fear is becoming like someone, and if that ever happened to me, I don't know how I would deal with it. I'd probably become an alcoholic again to deal with it. I would never want that to happen to anyone. It's her worst fear, and it really touches me because I relate to it a lot, and I just feel so sorry for her that her life has turned out this way for whatever reason it is. I hope she gets help. If it is schizophrenia, then she can't help it, and I just hope she gets the right help and support, and she starts to surround herself with better people. Maybe she finds a different producer to work with. I hope she gets herself out of that situation. I think he's shady and he's taking advantage of her. I don't think it's right, and yeah, she just needs to reconnect with old friends, I think, move away from him. It's easier said than done, but I really hope that things get better for her. I'm going to keep you updated on this situation. I'm going to try and keep an eye on her Instagram and things like that, see how it's going. I really hope that she gets better, because I saw an Instagram post where she was saying, I'll see you next year or when I die or something like that, and it was really concerning. And I just don't want this to end up where she ends up, passing away or something, because that would be horrendous and horrible. She's clearly suffering from whatever it might be, and I just think people need to show her love and support on the internet like so many people are doing right now, and I think that we need to spread the word and just be there for her. Of course, there's only so much the internet can do, and it's problematic to believe that we can save her or whatever, but I do think people need to try and reach out to her and let her know she's not alone, and that she can get better and life does get better. She just needs to see that she has a supportive fan base that can really help her, because the internet can help you a lot. Having people there, like on Twitter and stuff, that support you and listen to you and care, and it just makes you feel good inside, like you're not alone. So she just needs to know she's not alone, and I think people need to keep spreading the word so that whatever's going on can be investigated, or someone in her personal life can step in and help her, but none of us really know what's going on. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say really. I'm sorry if this video was boring or anything, or is a bit rambly. My name is Rebecca Rambles for a reason. I make new videos every single week, or at least I try to, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you for listening, and yeah, best of wishes to Leah, and I really hope to see a difference in her soon, although it's not going to happen overnight. And I realise how much of a struggle it can be to get away from your own demons, so I just really feel for her, and I really wish her the best. Bye. Thank you for listening.